wading in a stream is one way to fish if you don't have a boat. Your main investment is a good pair of waders, and the only other thing you need is a river or a lake that has a firm bottom, that isn't weedy or slippery, or doesn't have any hidden holes that are deeper than your waders. Using an inner tube, called a belly boat, is a step up. But last summer we tried a step up from belly boats. The guys who make these call them float tubes, and they're mostly air.
Oh, heck. This is cinchy. I like this.
A float tube is lightweight, 10 pounds maybe, some heavy-duty canvas, some aluminum tubing, and industrial plastic. You have a one-man boat that comes apart and can fit in any car. Now, this is not an inner tube, it's a boat.
Get my fishing rods ready to go.
Like a lot of outdoor gear, you could customize this with rod holders, pouches, a cooler. Some of these options are built in, but there's a lot you could add depending on what kind of fishing gear you had and what you wanted to do.
Primo. Boy, this thing really slides easy.
If you've ever tried to turn a canoe around by yourself, even without a wind from the side trying to make your life miserable, you'd appreciate how easy it is to turn a float tube.
Maneuverable. Very maneuverable and comfortable. Oh, let's go fishing, guys.
Now, the guys I'm talking to are the guys who design and make these tubes. Jim Swanson in the back, Ron Allen in the front. They're J&R, and their little business is J&R Float Tubes. And you can see how big their float tubes are getting. Last year they came out with a two-man duck boat you can put a little outboard motor on, but this is not how they started. A few years ago they fished from inner tubes with canvas straps for seats. With those original belly boats, you actually sit in the water. The inner tube is under your armpits, and you move the tube by kicking your feet. And that's where the swim fins come in. Now, maneuvering a round inner tube like that is not as easy as it sounds. I mean, it works, it's cheap, but it does have its problems. So the first improvement that J&R made on the round inner tube concept was to make the tubes long, straight cylinders, so there's actually a front and a back with a real seat. Then they took the seat and put it above the water, made the tubes a little longer, and added a pair of oars. And to talk to these guys, you'd think that their float tubes were the best invention since sliced bread.
Well, an inner tube, just like a donut, it has no stability. Any side you add weight to, the other sides become light. With the pontoon design, the wind doesn't blow you around like it does in a round boat. You don't have a problem with it wearing out the knees of your waders, because normally in a round boat your legs rub everything. Sets you a little higher out of the water, makes it more comfortable to fish, and also getting rid of the inner tube eliminates most of the weight. You go to a nice high quality vinyl liner or PVC, and you can drop most of your weight. Go to an aluminum frame, and you've got something that weighs in at 10 pounds, easy to carry, easy to break down, easy to store in the wintertime, and you're not constantly fighting the water and fighting the wind and everything else. So
But you wear fins and waders when you use that?
yeah, in your small boats, what was originally called belly boating or float tubing, yeah, you wore fins, and people used everything from cheap scuba diving fins to now you have high dollar, $150 force fins.
But you've gone from the fins to the oars. I mean, you started making a boat. You lost grip on the belly boat thing.
Well, we gained speed. We found that we had so much fun fishing in a lightweight boat that we could just, you decide at 9 o'clock at night you want to go fishing, or 6 o'clock in the morning. You don't have to go load up the boat on the trailer, spend a half an hour getting out of the driveway, and another half hour getting on the water. You grab your boat, you throw it in the truck, you bomb on down to the lake, you throw it in the water. Well, now you want to hit a bigger lake, and the fish are always biting on the other side. It's a long way to kick when you're not doing any fishing. So you come out with a boat that's got the oars on it, and you can really move. I mean, you can outrun a trolling motor with them. So, you got a lightweight boat, lightweight oars. You move right over to where you want to fish, put your feet back down, and go back to the regular way of fishing.
This is unruly. Look at that, northern pike. Oh. Now this is going to be interesting. Very interesting. Oh, there's a net. I don't think he's ready to come in yet. Very frankly. What? No, that's okay. I'll get him, but he's just not tired yet. And he's smiling a lot. There we go.
That's good.
Take the hook right out. Look at that. Hey, this is all right. There it goes. Huh. Well, what do you think of that?
Pretty cool.
If you've ever handled a northern pike, you understand all my hand washing. If you haven't handled a northern pike, don't worry about it. It's just a part of the charm of these fish. But actually, there's other fish in this river, too.
Whoa! This is a smallmouth, too, and it's a decent one. Yeah?
That's why I come out of it. I started to go through it and then seen what I was going in, and I decided, no,
Okay.
that's...
See, Johnny, I'm not funning you here. Whoa! Huh? Huh? Oh. You get right close to the action in this boat.
Probably gonna get off.
No. Come on, Johnny. You know who I am? Look at that. Hey, that would almost be a keeper, I think.
Well, I caught his
You caught his...
kid.
Yeah, that's pretty decent. 13 and a half. Pretty good.
You got a measuring thing on the front of your boat.
All right. No, not on this one.
Oh.
Look how they sit right there. You hold them that way. That never fails to impress me. Set them in the water and... Oh.
Another hit directly
Oh, a big
underneath
thank
that
you it gave
big
me.
boat. You guys went by and I got a hit right underneath your big
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, they're in here.
Yeah, it's a nice hole. That's why I'm stopping.
This river is generally a couple feet deep, but the hole Ron is talking about is 5 or 6 feet. Bigger fish are either in or around that hole. Now, I hooked a fish up near shore that got tangled in a sunken tree, but I worked it loose.
Oh, it's a bass.
It's a bass. It's a smallmouth, huh?
Yep. It's a nice one. Oh, man. It's a porker. Look at that. Oh, this is too cool. Too cool. I don't think he's ready. He is not ready by any stretch. Oh, I'm in the trees here. Boy, that's a good one. I think this little twister tail is a dandy bait. Sure is versatile. God, that's a nice one. Look at this. Huh?
Holy
They're getting
smokes.
bigger every time. Man, that one pulled the drag.
There are a lot of rivers in this state that are full of smallmouth bass, rivers that are around where you live, and not many people fish them.
Now that's a legal size. That was a dandy one. Here, I'll push you back and let her go. Oh man, I knew he was going to do that. I let him go the other direction.
Now, why do I toss this bass back? Well, I was tempted to keep it because smallmouth bass are terrific eating. But bass are fun to catch, and they can be caught time and time again. Now, this river, like most Michigan lakes and streams, has other fish, panfish, catfish, even walleye, that I wouldn't toss back, and you never know when you're going to catch them.
Yeah, this is a good one. This hadn't even shown itself yet.
Oh, he threw in and latched onto my fish, huh?
Yep. Is that a walleye? Is this a walleye? Is this a walleye? Look at this. This is a walleye. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh boy, what do you see here? I see 2 fillets. That's a keeper. Huh?
Yeah, he hit pretty
Okay.
hard, but all he did was hit my worm. He pulled my worm.
Hey, I like this. Now this walleye is not going back. I'm sorry. Excuse me. We'll measure it just
Want
for...
to measure them up here?
Yeah.
It's important to know what the size limits are for the body of water you're fishing. And it's important to have a measuring tape, too.
There's 15 there. That's... Oh, right?
Start from the, yeah.
Right from there, we're over 15, so we've got it covered. We've got it covered. Now, what do we do with the fish? Of course, I don't have a stringer, and I'm not putting it in my pocket, Mr. Jim.
Now, this happens far more often than most anglers like to admit. Stringers at home, stringers in the garage, maybe even a stringer in the truck back at the ramp. So the old practical side of a sportsman comes out. Use a piece of anchor rope.
There we go. All right. I've got smallmouth, northern pike, and a legal walleye. In fact, a legal, I don't know if that pike was legal or not. Probably wasn't, but bass and the walleye were. Now, back in.
You know, rivers like this flow every which way in this state, and most rivers have far more fish than most people think. Every now and then, you'll see somebody wading, and you'll see a few canoeists from time to time, and quite a few people fish from shore. But the point is, these rivers, by and large, have plenty of elbow room, and there's lots of lakes and ponds that you can fish too. Now, a small aluminum boat or canoe can get you onto these waters. You don't need an outboard motor. You don't need a landing net or even a measuring tape. Just a fishing rod, maybe a sandwich and some sunblock. I tell you, there's no better way to spend a summer day.
I'm coming. Oh, yes. I like it. I like it.